Part 34. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 331. Ren walked to his side and sat down, took the teapot from his hand, and began to make tea. The 501 incident has a clue. Ren immediately became alert. Shen Jingzi took out a photo from his pocket. Based on this number, plus the information revealed by Zhu Ziqiang before his death, the people below have investigated for a long time, and this person is likely to be the protagonist of this incident. The photo was slightly yellowed. The photo was of a girl about 14 or 15 years old, bright and beautiful. Even though her facial features have not yet fully opened, she can still show her face that will surely be stunning in the future. The girl smiled brightly at the camera, smiling happily. Beside the girl stood a bright-looking woman, holding the girl's hand. The girl in the photo is named Song Yunan. When she was 16, she had an accident while swimming and became a vegetable. It's her. Ren was very surprised. The 501 incident is really related to the girl who accidentally became a vegetable while swimming. I always thought it couldn't be that simple before, but now the results of my father's investigation are really related to the other party. This result was really beyond her expectation. She became a vegetable. It was not an accident, it was because of Zhang Xiao's action, right? Yes, Shen Jingzi nodded. To use the term you young people use nowadays, it is campus bullying. I have someone send the story of what happened to your mobile phone. Please read it first, and then tell me your opinion after reading it. Ren nodded and turned on his mobile phone. Clicked on the document and read it. Song Yunan's family is good, her parents have assets of hundreds of millions, and they live a wealthy life. She is the treasure of her parents. In order to give her a better education, her parents moved the whole family to the capital, and her excellent grades, coupled with her parents' money ability, successfully entered a famous school in the capital. Her appearance quickly attracted the attention of her classmates. Whether it was her appearance or her excellent grades, she became the object of envy and admiration among her classmates. She was the first in her grade. Her appearance crushed her peers. Even in sports, swimming broke Zhang Xiao's record. She was so dazzling that no one could hide her brilliance. Even Zhang Xiao, who had a prominent family background and was popular, ranked behind her. At the school anniversary celebration, she danced beautifully and amazed the audience. The applause in the auditorium that day was thunderous. She was as dazzling as the bright moon in the sky, dazzling and shining. The bright moon, which was originally dazzling in the school, was directly forced to retreat to the background board and became a control group. In the school, Shen Qian and Zhang Xiao, who were once praised as the golden boy and jade girl, finally became Shen Qian and Song Yunan. Zhang Xiao secretly asked people to target Song Yunan, and she hid behind to watch the show, still playing the role of a well-behaved little princess. Song Yunan's books were torn up, thumbtacks were put in his dancing shoes, and props would fall for no reason when he performed on stage. She was lucky to avoid the traps again and again. Her luck was seen as a provocation to them by outsiders. The way they tortured her began to become violent. Huang Yao, who had started to frame her at school, often blocked her in the toilet and abused her, wiped her face with a rag, splashed dirty water on her, and even harmonious. The swimming incident was not an accident, but a man-made one. They had done something underwater. If the security guard had not discovered Song Yunan during his patrol, he would have drowned. Seeing this, Ren had a bold guess. Zhang Xiao originally planned to kill someone with a borrowed knife, but she didn't expect that she was lucky enough to be discovered by the security guard in time, and her plan failed. No, if it was just this, Zhang Xiao wouldn't be so scared. With her temperament, it must be untraceable. Even if those knives regretted biting her, they would definitely not be able to produce strong evidence. The investigation report ended here, and the question of her cheap father made her think endlessly. Dad, does this Song Yunan have another identity? Renran thought of this possibility. At some point, Luoli also sat down beside them. After Renran finished speaking, he said, could it be that Song Yunan is not a child of the Song family, but a child of a large family that the Zhang family dare not offend, and was accidentally reported wrong before? Isn't that what is written in TV dramas and novels? Still, they still remember the word. Shen Jingzi was stunned, looked at his son, then looked at his daughter, and laughed directly. How can there be so many wrong children? Luoli was embarrassed. They both guessed wrong. Renran continued to ponder, thinking about the word steal. What exactly does it mean? Shen Jingzi quickly gave the answer. Song Yunan has become a vegetable, lying in the hospital, relying on instruments to live. This is everyone's cognition. Renran immediately understood, his pupils suddenly widened. Could it be that the person lying in the hospital is not Song Yunan, but someone else? The real Song Yunan was killed by Zhang Ziyu, or... The last thought made Renran shudder. Dad, is Song Yunan alive or dead? Luoli asked anxiously. Such a dazzling girl, fell just like that. Even though they had never met each other, he still couldn't help but worry and pity for this girl. It's not certain yet, the people below are still investigating. Shen Jingzi looked at Renran. Do you think it's life or death? Renran thought for a moment. Life is worse than death. I came here today to tell you that you should not touch Song Yunan's matter. This matter is more complicated than you think. Zhu Ziqiang's death may not be the handiwork of the mastermind behind the scenes. Of course, before the matter is investigated clearly, everything is unknown. Shen Jingzi repeatedly warned, remember, don't touch this matter. Renran felt a chill in his heart. Zhu Ziqiang's death has cast another layer of fog that makes it difficult to see clearly. Understood. Renran nodded. Luoli also nodded, and the others, who were not in the mood to eat, listened with their ears perked up. After hearing that Shen Jingzi was so cautious about this matter, it can be seen that the matter was extraordinary. Su Zaiyin was frightened for a while, and had the illusion that he had stepped into the gate of hell. Dad, is there anything unusual about Xiangxi Bai? It's normal. There is no intention. The backyard you mentioned has been inspected and there is no problem. Renran frowned. There is no problem, that's the biggest problem. There are people over there who are keeping an eye on it. Once a problem is discovered, we will notify you as soon as possible. Going back tomorrow, Shen Jingzi changed the subject. The topic changed so quickly that Renran was stunned for a moment, then nodded. Your grandpa and grandma want to see you. Let's wait until the new year is over. My brother and I will go over together to pay them New Year greetings. Luoli nodded aside, like a robot with no independent thoughts. Anyway, it was whatever his sister said, so he just had to follow it obediently. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Shi Mo Yet. Chapter 332. After seeing Shenjing off, the party continued. This was probably the last carnival of the year. The next day, Shen Jingzi sent someone to pick up the two siblings. This time, in addition to Gao Ying, Su Zaiyin and other people who were originally from Haishi, Zhao Yi also followed them back to Haishi. After arriving at the airport, a special person took them to the VIP lounge. After passing through the VIP channel, they took a special car and arrived in front of a private plane. Zhao Yi looked at the private plane and hugged Renran's arm. Sister, I will be your doorman after graduation. Don't be poor, Renran said with a smile. Seriously. Everyone got on the plane with laughter. Your father is really considerate. Zhao Yi touched the leather sofa, drank a bottle of red wine worth more than 100,000 yuan, and sighed with envy. After flying for about 2 hours, they finally returned to Haishi. Zhao Yi declined the kindness of sending her back and took a taxi back by herself. As soon as he got home, Ren Ran rushed forward to give Ren Suya and her grandmother a bear hug. "Grandma, Mom, I miss you so much." Grandpa patted Luo Li's shoulders. "Your songs are very nice." "Thank you," Grandpa Luo Li smiled shyly. "I'm starving." Ren Ran touched his belly. "I prepared it for you a long time ago, all your favorite dishes." Grandma stepped forward and held Luo Li's hand. "Child, let's go." Family members always have endless things to talk about when they meet again after a long separation. Luo Li and Ren Ran picked out fun things to talk about, and neither of them mentioned the bad things they encountered. After talking about gossip, Ren Hongruo said, "Before, your grandfather called and discussed holding a family recognition banquet for you after the new year, and officially bringing you into the Shen family. What do you think?" Luo Li looked directly at her sister. Ren Ran thought for a while. "No problem. That's fine. I'll make a deal with them later. We'll go there by then, and the two families should get to know each other." "Yeah. After the new year, I'm another year older. This year, there are more people visiting than in previous years. Even people you had to be careful to please before have condescended to come and wish Mr. Ren a happy new year. All these changes come from the Shen family." On the 6th day of the first lunar month, the family arrived in the capital on the Shen family's private plane. As soon as they landed, Shen Jingzi and Shen Chuyan stood outside waiting. Ren Suya looked at the man in front of her who was leaning on a cane and still had the same momentum. Shen Jingzi stepped forward. "Old man." Ren Hongruo smiled. "I've heard about your deeds before, but I didn't expect that we would have such a fate." After greeting each other and introducing each other, they got in the car and headed to the old house of the Shen family. At the same time, the Zhang family. Zhang Ziyu looked at the invitations posted by her besties in the circle of friends, and listened to the discussion of the recognition of Mr. Shen San in the small group. She felt like a heavy stone was pressing on her heart and couldn't breathe. Everyone knew that she and Ren Ran didn't get along. Now that Ren Ran had become Mr. Shen's daughter, the people around her before could clearly feel that they were perfunctory and indifferent to her. Not only them, but even at home, she could feel that her family no longer spoiled her as much as before. Zhang Ziyu walked into the kitchen, made a cake, and walked towards the study with the cake. Her hand was about to knock on the door, but suddenly stopped in mid-air and didn't move for a long time. "What do you think of Fan Peng?" "Fan Peng, that child is gentle and elegant, a pretty good child, worthy of Xiao." Zhang Bingrong nodded. "I remember that too. Let the two children get engaged first, and when they reach the legal age, let them get the marriage certificate." "Yes." Mrs. Zhang did not object. "You should tell the child when the time comes." Mrs. Zhang seemed to have thought of something. "What if the child disagrees?" "I think she likes Xian very much." "Shen Xian." "Hey." Zhang Bingrong snorted coldly. "If she can be with Shen Xian, I will agree to everything I say, and I will also give her a generous dowry so that she can marry in style. She has been following the Shen family kid's ass for so many years, but she still hasn't won his heart. She is even said to have offended the Shen family so much that the Shen family will let her go." Speaking of this, Zhang Bingrong was angry. Because of this, he was severely extorted by the old fox Shen Jingzi. When Zhang Bingrong thought of the benefits he had given up, he felt pain. The Zhang family has cultivated her for so many years. If she is grateful, she will agree. If she is not grateful, Mrs. Zhang knew what that cold snort meant, and Zhang Ziyu, who was eavesdropping outside the door, also knew it. Zhang Ziyu's heart trembled, and her hands trembled slightly. She held the tray tightly with both hands, biting her lower lip to prevent herself from crying. "Okay, I'll talk to her later." Zhang Ziyu turned around and left in a hurry, put her things in the living room, ran to the backyard, squatted in a corner, and cried silently. She didn't want to marry Fan Peng, absolutely not. Who is Fan Peng? Everyone in this circle knows that he has a tendency to be tyrannical and is an absolute eccentric who likes to abuse. No woman who is favored by him can escape his clutches. Superficial girls are easily confused by Fan Peng's gentle appearance and superior family background, and thus fall under his trousers. Once the girl surrenders, Fan Peng starts to play SM games. As long as he is not tired of playing, the girl cannot escape his clutches. Over the years, several girls have been tortured by him, and one of them even committed suicide because she could not bear the pressure. Once she saw Fan Peng abuse people with her own eyes, and the bloody and unbearable scene made her have nightmares for 3 days. Fan Peng is a scumbag, an absolute scumbag and a scum. Once she marries such a person, her second half of life will be completely ruined. If he knows that the Zhang family does not care about her, she will definitely live a life worse than death. No, she must not marry Fan Peng, she can't just sit there and wait for death. She must find a way to get rid of this matter. Miss. The voice from behind made her thoughts return instantly. She raised her eyes and looked at the other person, with tears in her eyes, but her eyes were cruel. The maid was frightened by that look, and her voice tightened unconsciously. Miss, the master is looking for you. Yes. She sorted out her mood, wiped away the tears in her eyes, and opened the door of the study. Dad Zhang Xiao's voice was gentle, as if she was attached to her father. Sit down. Zhang Xiao sat opposite him. Tomorrow the Shen family will hold a family recognition banquet on Banshan Island. You can go with them tomorrow. She nodded obediently. Tomorrow when I see Ren Ran, I will apologize to her and ask for her forgiveness. She wanted to say no, but under Zhang Binggrong's sharp eyes, she didn't dare to say it, so she could only nod, okay. Seeing that she was obedient, Zhang Bingrong smiled a little more and touched her head. Xiao, you have grown up, you must know how to share the burden for your parents, understand? Your mother has something to ask you, you go. Okay. Zhang Xiao stood up and turned to leave. When the door closed, the dark eyes surged with strong hatred. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, She Yet. Chapter 333. When Ms. Zhang saw Zhang Xiao, she greeted with a smile, Xiao is here, sit down quickly. Zhang Xiao looked at the boxes of jewelry placed on the table. Under the light, the jewelry shone brightly, dazzling people's eyes. Which one of these jewelry do you like best? If she hadn't heard the previous conversation, she might have chosen happily, but now these jewelry were like shackles, a sharp weapon binding her hands and feet. She did not dare to show any dissatisfaction, and looked at it carefully, pointing to one of the jade bead chains of excellent quality. Mom, this bead chain is beautiful. When paired with a Chong Sam, it looks elegant and luxurious, with a classic elegance. Ms. Zhang smiled and said, which one do you like better? In the past, she would definitely choose a suitable one that was neither expensive nor too cheap, but today she pointed directly at the most expensive set of blue jewelry and said, this set is beautiful. Surprise flashed in Ms. Zhang's eyes, she picked up the set of blue jewelry, put it on her, and stepped back to admire it. Nice. Zhang Xiao smiled, really? Of course it's true. You will wear this set of jewelry when you go to the Shen family's banquet tomorrow. The stylist will come to match your dress later. Zhang Xiao was obedient throughout the whole process. After the trivial matters were taken care of, Ms. Zhang waved her hand and the housekeeper led her out of the house. Ms. Zhang held her hand, the two of them sat on the sofa, and said affectionately, Jiayu, you are an adult now. Dad has helped you find a boy. Although the family is slightly inferior to the Zhang family, but this is a good thing for my daughter. If you marry, the other party won't dare to look down on you or bully you. You can feel comfortable in your husband's family. Your father has worked very hard for your future life. Zhang Ziyu listened quietly, his face pretending to be shy, and he gritted his teeth in hatred. They said it so grandly, and each other knew exactly what it was for. Mom, I'm still studying and don't want to leave home so early. Be good, listen to your mother. Excellent boys are hard to find and are in high demand. Let's make a decision early so that your father and I can feel at ease. But Mrs. Zhang interrupted her directly, obey. We won't harm you. He will come back tomorrow and will show you too. Who is it? Mrs. Zhang smiled and said, when I see him tomorrow, you will know that he is someone you know well. Listening to these specious words, I thought that person was Brother Shen. Zhang Ziyu couldn't help but sneer in his heart. The next day, Pension Island. Guests gathered on Banshan Island today. This super 5-star club cleared out early, waiting for today's banquet. An hour before the banquet started, luxury cars drove in one after another, and heavyweights got out of the cars. The slender and outstanding-looking receptionist led celebrities from the business and political circles into the banquet hall. In the rest area on the third floor of the club, she was still sitting in front of the mirror, letting the stylist team do what she wanted. She had been sitting in front of the mirror for 3 full hours and still hadn't finished it yet. However, Luo Li got it done quickly and sat aside to wait. As the banquet time approached, Ren Ran could clearly feel Luo Li's nervousness. Don't be nervous, just treat it like a normal meeting. Follow me later and watch what I do. Luo Li nodded. Ren Suya opened the door and looked at her gorgeous daughter in the mirror, her eyes full of love. My daughter has really grown up. She turned to look at Luo Li. Luo Li, if you are afraid, just follow your sister. Before the banquet started, Ren Suya returned to the banquet hall. At a corner of the banquet, Mrs. Zhang and Zhang Ziyu met with Mrs. Fan, with Fan Peng standing on one side. After the two parties exchanged pleasantries, Mrs. Fan and Mrs. Zhang left their space to the young people. Before leaving, Mrs. Fan squeezed her son's hand hard and reminded him to restrain himself and pay attention to his propriety. Fan Peng smiled and urged her to leave. After the two elders left, Fan Peng put away his gentle scum smile. He leaned lazily on the sofa, crossed his legs, and looked at Zhang Ziyu up and down with squinting eyes. Zhang Ziyu was angered by his almost insulting gaze and looked at him with a sullen expression. I know you don't like it, and I don't have feelings for you either. When you go back, tell your family that you are not interested in me. When I go back, I will also say. Who says I'm not interested in you? I'm very interested in you. Zhang Ziyu's words were abruptly cut off, and he looked at him dumbfounded. You. Fan Peng sneered, Miss Zhang, after staying in this circle for so long, don't you know the truth? If the elders think it's suitable, then we are suitable. Only when you can control your life will you be qualified to be picky, let alone you are just a. He didn't say what he said clearly, but it made Zhang Ziyu even more embarrassed than he did. His face was burning with pain, as if he had been slapped countless times. Fan Peng stepped forward and held her waist. Zhang Ziyu tried to break away in disgust, but he leaned into her ear and whispered, a lot of people are watching. I don't want to cause too much trouble and make it difficult for the Zhang family to get off the stage. You can just make trouble. In one sentence, Zhang Ziyu successfully stopped his activities. At this time, the Ren Ran siblings were led to the spiral staircase on the second floor. The host below was talking about the scene to liven up the atmosphere. Then Mr. Shen said a few words and pushed Shen Jingzi out. After all, their family is the protagonist today. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend this banquet. Although it is late, it is not too late. Shen Jingzi looked at the stairs, and the light fell on Ren Ren and her brother. The beam of light illuminated the two siblings like the stars in the sky, dazzling. In the crowd, Zhang Ziyu stared at Ren Ren with a pair of eyes, with unwillingness and jealousy in her eyes. Fan Peng, who was standing beside her, stared at Ren Ren and licked his lips subconsciously. This woman has a desire to conquer. Fan Peng secretly said it was a pity. It's a pity that she is the daughter of Mr. Shen San, and he can't do anything to her. He turned his head to look at Zhang Ziyu, noticed the light in her eyes, and pulled a sneer at the corner of his lips. This woman's facial features are at best delicate, but she has been pampered by the Zhang family for so many years, so she is still good. It's not bad to conquer such a little princess. Mr. Shen San's children are not bad. I didn't expect her to be pretty, someone muttered, saying that she was pretty, but his eyes were staring straight at her. Wow, Luo Li is more handsome than in the photo. Shen Qian looks good, but I didn't expect his brother to be so good looking. I don't know who to choose. A rich girl covered her slightly red cheeks and stared at Luo Li, the little puppy. Ren Ren felt the cold sweat on his brother's palms and said in a low voice, "Take a deep breath, keep smiling, and don't look sideways. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her." Author, Mo Shi Mo Yet. Chapter 334. The two of them walked to Shen Jingzi's side. Shen Jingzi held one hand and led the two to get to know the big shots in Beijing circles. Ren Ren always kept a smile on his face, and would say something when they asked. The rest of the time, he would listen more, see more, remember more, and observe more. Luo Li followed suit. After getting to know a circle of people, Shen Jingzi asked Shen Qian to take them to meet their peers. Here, I still saw Xiao Yi, Zhang Ziyu, and Fan Peng beside her. Fan Peng smiled and stretched out his hand. "Miss Shen is so beautiful. It's time to change the title of the most beautiful woman in Beijing." Ren Ren inexplicably smelled the smell of a scumbag on him, and instinctively disliked him. Luo Li was very discerning and reached out to hold his hand. "My sister is beautiful, but she doesn't dare to be the number one beauty. Ha ha ha, look at my mouth, I can't speak. I'll punish myself with one drink." Fan Peng drank the wine in his hand in one gulp. In the corridor, as soon as Ren Ren came out of the bathroom, he was blocked by a waiter. "Miss Shen, Miss Zhang invites you to the Fountain Rest Pavilion. She has something to tell you." "Zhang Jiyu?" "Yes," the waiter added, "Ms. Zhang seems to want to apologize to you in person, so she brought a lot of gifts." "Okay, I get it." The cheap dad had told her before that Zhang Ziyu would come to apologize, and she could deal with it as she pleased. In addition, he converted the benefits he received from the Zhang family into money and gave each of them a share. She accounts for the bulk of it. Zhang Ziyu came over to apologize now, but there was no rule that if she wanted to apologize, she had to go over and accept it, so Ren Ren still strode towards the banquet hall. Seeing that the waiter was going that way, he quickly took out his mobile phone and sent a message. At this time, in the banquet hall, a male waiter walked up to Shen Qian and said, "Mr. Shen, Miss Ren Ren invites you to go to room 209 on the second floor. She has something to ask you." Shen Qian nodded, handed the wine glass in his hand to the waiter, and looked around the banquet hall, but did not see Ren Ren. He lifted his feet and walked towards the second floor. Ren Ren just came out from the back and saw his cousin Shen Qian walking towards the second floor. "Brother Qian." Hearing this, Shen Qian stopped and walked towards her with a smile. "What do you want from me?" "Ah," Ren Ren was stunned, "I'm not looking for you." The two looked at each other and immediately realized there was something fishy going on. "The waiter just told me that you are in room 209 and have something to do with me. The waiter told me just now that Zhang Ziyu came to see me in the fountain lounge and wanted to apologize. I ignored him and went straight back to the banquet hall." When the two of them matched up, it was clear what was going on. Ren Ran immediately called for Song Lian and whispered, "Go to the fountain rest area to see if Zhang Ziyu is waiting there, and call the surveillance camera to find the two waiters. Have people keep an eye on the second floor, over there once there is any movement, report it immediately. I'll go upstairs first and stabilize the other party so as not to alert the enemy." "Good." Shen Qian went upstairs. The assistant walked to Shen Jingzi's side and lowered his voice and said, "Miss, they are already aware of it." Shen Jingzi looked as usual and nodded slightly to express his understanding. The assistant left immediately. Ren Ran was chatting with a group of celebrities when he saw Song Lian coming back. After talking to the others, he left the group and walked to a secluded corner. "Miss, Zhang Ziyu is not here, but her best friend is there. Have you found the two waiters? The two people were caught by our police when they were escaping. They confessed that a person with a voice changer found them. They traded over the phone, and the other party told them to do this." "What's going on the second floor?" Fan Peng went up to the second floor and entered room 206. Song Lian provided another piece of information: the Zhang family is planning to marry the Fan family. Fan Peng is a perverted lover who likes to torture. Ren Ran raised his eyebrows. "One room is room 209, and the other is room 206. This is a drama about walking into the wrong room, and having a meal with my cousin." Ren Ran walked to the corner and sent a text message to Shen Qian. At the same time, Ren Ran came close to Song Lian's ear and whispered a few instructions. Song Lian smiled directly and said, "I promise to complete the task." Ren Ran went to the fountain pool. When Zhang Ziyu's best friend saw her coming, her face was filled with smiles. "Miss Shen." "Hello, Zhang Ziyu isn't here," Ren Ran pretended to be confused. The other party immediately said, "She left the gift on the second floor and just went up to the second floor to get the gift. Please wait here for a moment, she will be back soon." Zhang Ziyu dragged her best friend with her to testify on her behalf. "This is both what we want. They are going to blame everyone on their cousin Shen Qian. When the time comes, the Shen family will have no choice but to accept this daughter-in-law, and Shen Qian must be responsible for Zhang Ziyu. Forget it, I have something else to do." When the other party saw that she was leaving, he wanted to stop her but didn't dare. On the second floor of the banquet hall, Zhang Ziyu glanced at the door number and pushed the door open. Soon there was a scream and a burst of banging in the room. In the end, the sound turned into another sound that made people's ears red and heartbeat. At this time, a waiter came forward and changed the house number from 209 back to 206, and everything returned to the original. Shen Qian, who was staying in the next room next door, vaguely heard a woman's scream, and a sneer curled up on his lips. "Bring yourself to your own death." Zhang Ziyu has always liked to stick to him since he was a child, but he doesn't like it very much. No matter how much he said, she couldn't hear him. Everyone thought Zhang Ziyu liked him, but he knew very well that she didn't like him. There was no love in her eyes when she looked at him, only calculation. If something happened to Song Yunan that year without her hand, he would never believe it. Whoever touches such a vicious woman will be in trouble. Although Fan Peng is a scumbag, he is more than good enough for her. Shen Qian drank tea leisurely with a cup in hand, waiting for them to cook the rice. Suddenly, as if he thought of something, Shen Qian took out his mobile phone and made a call. Since she wants to be famous so much, then help her. Ren Ran slowly returned to the banquet hall, only to find that many ladies were missing from the banquet hall. She stopped a waiter and asked, "Why are there so many people missing?" The waiter explained, "Mrs. Fan invited several ladies to go upstairs to see the gifts her son had prepared for her." After hearing this, the other ladies also followed to watch the fun. This is where the fun begins. Ren Ran found Luo Li and whispered in his ear, "Let's go, sister will take you to the theater." The two went up to the second floor. As soon as they reached the stairs, they heard a scream coming from the house. Ren immediately trotted forward to join in the fun. She and Luoli successfully squeezed into the first line of melon eating, but when they saw the two people with messy shirts on the bed, they and the others were dumbfounded. Nest grass. Why is he here? What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 335. What happened in the meantime? Why is Zhang Sufeng here? Luoli looked at the two people on the bed in shock. Oh my god. They are. This is the family education of the Zhang family. It is immoral, too. Many ladies looked at them with contempt. The two people on the bed were awakened by the noise around them. Zhang Sufeng felt a splitting headache. He opened his eyes with difficulty. In his blurred vision, there were people everywhere around him. The chattering sound made his head splitting. Zhang Xiao's neck was branded with clear pinch marks, and a corner of her forehead was swollen. It can be seen that she must have been hit hard at that time. She was still unconscious at this moment. Zhang Sufeng's hand was on his forehead. When he saw the people around him clearly, his brows frowned even deeper. Why are all these people here? Sufeng. I don't know who notified Mrs. Zhang downstairs. People hurried over, and after seeing the situation of the two people on the bed clearly, their bodies were shaky. Madame Zhang rushed forward, grabbed Zhang Xiao, and slapped her hard several times regardless of the noble ladies present. The sound of pa 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 echoed in the room, showing how strong the force was, and indirectly explained how angry Madame Zhang was at this moment, and how angry she was to the point of losing her mind. Zhang Xiao, who was in a coma, was awakened by the slap and opened her eyes. When she saw the people around her and the red eyes in front of her, who wanted to eat her mother, her body trembled slightly. Mom! He! Shut up, Madame Zhang interrupted her show in a harsh voice. Zhang Sufeng finally sobered up a lot, turned his head to see Zhang Xiao lying next to him, and then looked at the situation around them. His face suddenly changed. The whispers of the people around him kept pouring into his ears like the wind, clear and piercing. If I were Madame Zhang, I would probably be so angry that I would pass out. Why do I see marks on Miss Jiang's neck? Could it be that Zhang Sufeng forced her? Look at the mess in the room. Just think about it and you will know that he must have been so beastly and forced the other party. I didn't realize that he was such a person. Before, I was thinking about making him my son-in-law. Fortunately, the Zhang family didn't mean to do that, otherwise, my daughter would be miserable. Madame Zhang is really, why only beat her daughter and not her son? Zhang Sufeng's face was dark. If he couldn't guess that he was being plotted against, he would have lived in vain for so many years. He looked ugly and didn't dare to look at Zhang Xiao, feeling guilty. Mom, I have to go to the hospital. Zhang Sufeng followed with the next sentence, I was drugged. This was not only said by Madame Zhang, but more to the people present, giving them a reasonable explanation. Otherwise, his reputation would be completely ruined. Madame Zhang nodded and immediately called for an ambulance. Zhang Xiao rolled up the quilt, lowered her head, and sobbed softly, just like a harmless and pitiful little white flower. After Mrs. Zhang dealt with the important things, she picked up the water cup on the table and splashed it on Zhang Xiao's face. Zhang Xiao, how have we let you down? You want to harm my Zhang family like this? Although we are not your biological parents, we have raised you for many years. Is this how you repay us? Mrs. Zhang accused angrily. Ren raised his eyebrows and admired in his heart. Mrs. Zhang reacted very quickly. She was ready to let Zhang Xiao take all the blame and clear her son from it. This society is originally tolerant of men and much harsher on women, especially in matters between men and women. This kind of thing, after a long time, men will be fine, but women will follow it for a lifetime. Abandoning the car to protect the general, decisive and ruthless. Many noble ladies and celebrities around were stunned and shocked by this sudden news. What? Zhang Ziyu is an adopted daughter. What's the situation? Why haven't I heard about it before? An older person smiled and said, after so many years, I almost forgot about it. Miss Zhang is the child of Zhang Bingrong's comrade in arms. That comrade in arms died, and Zhang Bingrong took the child to his side to raise her. For many years, he raised her like his own daughter. Another person followed up and said, you probably don't know yet. The matter of her godmother that was making a lot of noise on the internet before. That's not a godmother, but actually her biological mother. I heard that she has been in contact with her biological mother all these years and they have a good relationship. The person who spoke was a close friend of Ms. Zhang, so he naturally spoke for her. Oh, it seems that this mind has been wild for a long time, another noble lady who was good friends with Ms. Zhang pointed out something. Zhang Ziyu was completely stunned, looking at Ms. Zhang in disbelief, and when she heard what the people around her said, she was angry and anxious. I just came up to get a gift for Ren Ran, and after pushing him away, I didn't expect my brother to, whoa, Zhang Ziyu sobbed. What's going on? Why is it so lively? A nonchalant voice came from the outside. Xiao Yi, Fan Peng, and other young second generations came forward. Xiao Yi looked at the scene in the room, especially when he saw Zhang Ziyu's pitiful appearance with tears in his eyes, he would think of the fact that he was fooled. He smiled and said, Zhang Ziyu, if you don't like Fan Peng, you can't be so mean to him. Why did you choose him when you can find someone else? Or do you have a stronger taste and like to play exciting games? Fan Peng pretended to be angry. Ziyu, if you have someone you like, you should tell me in advance. I am not the kind of person who likes to force people. You just do this to us. Aren't you too disrespectful to our Fan family? Zhang Sufeng, who had been holding back the nausea and sequelae, had eyes blazing after seeing Fan Peng. Fan Peng, we should say this. If you don't want to get engaged to Ziyu, there is no need to trick me here and put hallucinogenic aphrodisiacs in the room. Haha, Fan Peng was so angry that he laughed. You should ask your good sister about the things in the room. I won't take the blame for this. As he said, Fan Peng clapped his hands, and several security guards came over with 3 waiters. Tell me what you know. The first waiter said, someone told me that after seeing Miss Zhang enter the room, the house numbers 206 and 209 outside were swapped. The second waiter said, a mysterious person contacted me yesterday and asked me to do something. He asked me to take Mr. Shenqian to room 209 in the name of Ren Ran. The third waiter followed up, I also received a strange call yesterday. The other party gave me 100,000 yuan and asked me to take Ren Ran to the fountain in the name of Miss Jiang's apology. Xiao Yi pulled Zhang Ziyu's best friend to the front. The best friend is not stupid. If she still can't see what happened, it would be a waste of time. I accompanied Zhang Ziyu to wait for Ren Ran at the fountain. Halfway through, she returned to get the gift of apology. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, She Mo Yet. Chapter 336. This best friend was also furious. She called him by his full name, which showed that she was being used. This made her very angry. The people present were all shrewd people, and it was clear who was right and who was wrong. The color on Zhang Ziyu's face faded a little bit, and the whole person was shaking like a sieve. Zhang Sufeng turned his head to look at Zhang Ziyu, and his eyes changed from guilt and fear at the beginning to questioning and anger now. Second brother, no, it's not like that. She reached out and wanted to pull his arm. Zhang Sufeng pushed her away with such force that he pushed her directly under the bed. Ah! Zhang Ziyu screamed, covered her chest with both hands, and hurriedly and embarrassedly pulled the quilt. Mrs. Zhang now wanted to eat Zhang Ziyu. Mrs. Fan stared coldly at the seemingly weak woman and said in a cold voice, "It seems that our boy is not worthy of Miss Zhang. Mrs. Zhang, we don't need to talk about that matter anymore." At this moment, Zhang Sufeng fell straight down. Mrs. Zhang was shocked. "Sufeng, Sufeng. Go and drive." Because Zhang Sufeng suddenly fell, the scene was in chaos. Shen Qian appeared at the right time to stabilize the situation, arranged a car and medical staff from the club, and went to a large hospital for medical treatment. The pillars downstairs also heard the movement above, but no one left. Within half a minute, everyone received the news, especially Zhang Bingrong, who was so angry that he almost crushed the wine glass in his hand after hearing the news. Zhang Bingrong said hello to several political leaders around him and left in a hurry. In the room on the second floor, all the onlookers were asked to leave, and only the host and the people involved were left in the room. Zhang Ziyu put on the new clothes brought by the waiter and walked out of the bedroom with trembling legs. When she arrived in the living room, she saw Zhang Bingrong constantly apologizing to the Shen family. "It was my negligence that I didn't educate her well," Zhang Bingrong said to Shen Jingzi with an apologetic face. Seeing her come out, he said with a gloomy face, "Why don't you come and apologize to Uncle Shen? People under the eaves have to bow their heads." Zhang Ziyu bit her lower lip lightly and lowered her head in humiliation. "Uncle Shen, I'm sorry, I disturbed your banquet." Shen Jingzi smiled. "It's good for young people to have ideas, but it's not a good thing to always think about taking crooked paths. You are still young and have a long way to go. If you shorten the road, it will be useless to regret it in the future." "Yeah," Zhang Ziyu replied perfunctorily. Zhang Bingrong took Zhang Ziyu away. After watching the excitement, Ren Ran followed Shen Qian back to the banquet. "I didn't realize that Fan Peng was quite smart and fought back fiercely." "He's smart," Shen Qian sneered. Ren Ran raised his eyebrows. "Brother, could it be you?" Shen Qian just smiled and said nothing. "I thought so." When she saw that the person on the bed was not Fan Peng, but Zhang Sufeng, she was stunned. This was completely different from what she expected and the script. Shen Qian knew that she had misunderstood, and added, "I just reminded Fan Peng appropriately. As for what he does, I can't control it." He didn't expect Fan Peng to be so cruel and so ruthless, and directly ruined Zhang Sufeng and his sister. If Zhang Ziyu was ruined, the Zhang family would not be distressed, but if Zhang Sufeng was ruined, the Zhang family couple would definitely be heartbroken. It must be said that Fan Peng's move was cruel, dark, and ruthless enough, and he hit the Zhang family directly. Zhang Ziyu must be guilty after returning. Killing two birds with one stone, killing without bloodshed. Back in the banquet hall, Ren Ran was full of energy, and even Luo Li was relaxed, his nerves no longer tense. Ren Hongru was talking to an elegant middle-aged man. When he saw Ren Ran and his sister and brother, he called them over. Ren Hongru smiled and introduced the elegant middle-aged man. "This is my useless grandson." "Uncle Su," Ren Ran shouted at him. Luo Li followed and shouted, "Uncle Su." Su Changming smiled and said, "Ran Ran, I have seen him, but it is the first time for Luo Li to see him. Since you call me uncle, an uncle cannot be rude." He waved his hand, and the assistant not far away came over with something and handed over a gift. A little thought. Luo Li glanced at his grandfather, and when he saw his grandfather nod, he took it. "I really want to thank you for asking you to do something last time. Mr. Ren, why are you being so polite to me? If it weren't for you more than 10 years ago, I would have almost died in the Northwest." The two chatted, and the brother and sister accompanied them. In the luxury business car, Zhang Ziyu lowered her head and dared not say a word. "You don't like Fan Peng, why don't you say it?" Zhang Bingrong was not a fool, and naturally understood what she was going to do. She wanted to make it a done deal with Shenqian, but she was not as skilled as him, and was instead tricked to death. He liked ambitious children, but not stupid and ambitious children. Dad, I was wrong. Zhang Bingrong glanced at her coldly and told the driver, send her home. He got out of the car and changed to another car to rush to the hospital. Zhang Ziyu trembled and looked at the door from time to time when he returned home. In the early hours of the morning, there was a noise outside the courtyard. Zhang Ziyu immediately stood up and went forward. Zhang Bingrong and his wife and Zhang Sufeng were all back. Dad, Mom, big brother, second brother. Mrs. Zhang slapped her in the face angrily, and no one else said a word for her. Zhang Xingzhou helped Zhang Sufeng back without even looking at her. This incident made all of them very disappointed in her. Zhang Ziyu was terrified. Second brother, I'm sorry, I really didn't expect this. The second brother, who was gentle in the past, ignored her. Madame Zhang sneered, if you really feel sorry, go to the courtyard and kneel down to atone for your stupidity. Zhang Ziyu watched them leave, her feet rooted, unable to move. The housekeeper couldn't bear it. Miss, the lady is so angry that she is like this. Wait until she calms down. It's late, go to bed early. She didn't go upstairs, but walked out. With a thump, she knelt directly outside, facing the direction of Zhang Sufeng's room. The housekeeper went upstairs to report. Sir, madam, the lady is kneeling outside the courtyard. If she wants to kneel, let her kneel. Madame Jiang's voice was cold. The housekeeper sighed. The banquet was over and the guests dispersed. Shen Jingzi's assistant finally had time to report to the big boss. Go to the study. They entered the study one after the other, leaned on the sofa, put one hand on the center of the forehead, and pressed gently. What's the matter? Lao Ying is dead. Shen Jingzi paused slightly, and raised his head suddenly. When? We lost contact with Lao Ying just an hour ago. 10 minutes ago, his body was found by the lake outside Hushunju. The assistant looked sad. Even someone like Lao Ying, investigating a 501 incident, ended up like this. What kind of dragon's den and tiger's den is 501? What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Shi Mo Yet. Chapter 337. Map. The assistant immediately took out the capital map from the bookshelf and spread it out. Without Shen Jingzi's instructions, he put the pen in his hand. Shen Jingzi found the location of Hushunju and spread it out from the center. Where did he appear last? The assistant stepped forward and circled a location on the map. Shen Jingzi's eyes swept across the map and drew a circle around the locations that could be reached in an hour. It looked like a small circle on the map, but the actual range was very wide. His eyes noticed a place and the pen tip fell on Bai Xiangju, where Bai Xiangxi lived. Continue to check here. Shen Jingzi's voice was low. At the same time, Ren Ren and Luo Li took a business card to Z1. She took something out of her bag and handed it to her brother. Luo Li opened it, and a delicate and small sapphire earring still flashed dazzling light in the dim light. Sister, why are you giving me this? This is not from me, but from Dad. No, why should I wear earrings when I'm a grown man? Wear them yourself. Ren Ran lifted her hair to reveal her ears, which were already wearing the same earrings. This is not an ordinary earring. There is a GPS locator here, and there is a small button at this position. Once you are in danger, you can press this button frequently. Dad will receive the news of your danger and find your location as soon as possible, so that it is convenient to rescue people. I don't have pierced ears. Did Dad ever consider this problem when he asked someone to design it? Your clip is very reliable, I've tried it. Luo Li. When the car stopped at the traffic light intersection, Luo Li saw a few shops on the street outside with lights on, and knew that her sister had not eaten much all day because she had to wear a dress. Uncle Zhao, stop the car in front of the convenient parking spot. Okay, master. What's wrong, Ren Ran? I saw a rice noodle roll in front, and I'm hungry and want to eat. The car stopped at the bus stop. I'll go with you. The two wrapped themselves in down jackets and walked towards the nearby rice noodle shop. Luoli ordered 2 deluxe rice noodle sets. After eating a bowl of hot rice noodle, Ren Ran felt warm all over. After eating and drinking, the two left the shop. Take a few steps to digest. Okay. The streets in the first month of the year were relatively quiet, and there were not many pedestrians on the road. Help! A short and rapid cry for help floated into the ears of the two. Luoli and Ren Ran looked at each other. Seeing someone rushing out of the alley, Ren Ran quickly pulled Luoli behind the trash can and hid. Several men were controlling a woman, one of whom covered the other's mouth and nose with a towel, and soon the woman fainted and stopped struggling. The men hurried past and ran to a truck parked on the side of the road. The carriage opened, and several men threw the person directly into the carriage. At this moment, a head popped out from the co-pilot seat and shouted to the men, "Hurry up and don't attract attention." When Ren Ran heard the familiar voice, she stretched her head slightly and saw Ruan Fengruo. She was directing people. A man said, "Sister Ruan, there is another woman in the alley, she should be her friend. If we leave her alone, she will definitely call the police, and then it will be troublesome. Take her away too." The men returned to the alley again after receiving the order. Ren Ran looked at the disappearing people, and then looked at the carriage not far away. She had a hunch that this might be an opportunity, a great opportunity. You can't get a tiger cub without risking it. Ren Ran gritted her teeth and made a dangerous and crazy decision. Since she was lucky, God would definitely bless her. She was so comforted in her heart. Luoli realized what she was going to do, subconsciously pulled her sleeve, and shook his head at her. Ren Ran pointed at his ear, made a phone call gesture, patted his hand, and told him to rest assured. "Be careful," Luoli said 2 words silently and let go. Ren Ran bent over, rushed to the back of the truck at the fastest speed, and climbed into the car in a few steps. At this time, various cargo boxes were piled in the car, among which there were 7 or 8 girls, and a handsome boy. All these people were crooked and unconscious. Ren Ran took the opportunity to mix in with them. When he heard the footsteps, he immediately held his breath and did not move. Bang! Another girl was thrown down. Soon the door of the car was closed by others, and the car started. Luoli, who was hiding behind the trash can, called his father as soon as the car left. "Dad, we met Ruan Fengru on the way and saw them kidnapping people. My sister jumped into that car." Shen Jingzi frowned. "I know, you go home now, don't walk around or move around." "Okay." Luoli turned back to the car, and as soon as he got in, the car started slowly. When he subconsciously looked at the entrance of the alley, there seemed to be a figure standing in the darkness. The figure was tall and a little familiar, as if he had seen it somewhere. The car drove away quickly, and the figure also flashed past his eyes. Shen Jingzi turned on the computer and connected to Ren Ran's GPS. The assistant looked at the track of the red dots. "They are going in circles." Shen Jingzi glanced at the map. "They are circling in this range." The assistant glanced at the circle drawn by the big boss and was surprised to find that the circle was a radiation circle drawn by the big boss after the eagle had an accident. "This." The assistant widened his eyes. "The eldest lady might enter the place where the eagle died." Shen Jingzi asked him to watch and walked to the window to contact an old friend. "Old Fu, I have something to ask you for help." As soon as Shen Jingzi hung up the phone, the assistant immediately shouted, "Boss, there is a change." He walked over quickly, and the red dot on the screen was no longer circling, but moving in one direction. Shen Jingzi looked at the direction of the vehicle, he immediately took the map, and finally pointed his finger at the location of Bai Xiangxi. Now let Tianji send someone over immediately. Yes. On the other side, Ren Ran didn't dare to make any big moves, and moved his hands and feet carefully to prevent numbness. He just stretched his legs and feet and the car stopped. Not long after, there was a conversation outside. There's not much cargo this time, you take the people over. After the two sides handed over, a group of new faces opened the door of the carriage and carried the girls who were kidnapped from nowhere one by one. Be careful, don't get hurt. Tisk, it won't be long before you're covered in wounds, someone muttered in dissatisfaction. Soon it was Ren Ran's turn, and a man directly carried her on his shoulders, and then threw her onto a cart like trash. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 338. One of the men glanced at Ren Ran and his eyes lit up. This chick looks good. While speaking, Ren Ran clearly felt a pair of hands touching her face, and the touch almost made her tense up. Don't make a fuss. Get to work quickly. We're still waiting over there. The man let go of his hand and breathed a sigh of relief. Bang. Ren Ran only felt tightness in her chest, and someone was pressing directly on her. The people on the car were quickly moved, and the pallet truck dragged everyone away. When the car shakes, the arm pretends to vibrate and slides to the side, just enough to cover the top of the eyes, blocking the outside world's sight. She quietly opened her eyes. She was surrounded by high white walls and empty space on both sides. After just walking a short distance, she found surveillance cameras, one for every 10 steps. Such intensive monitoring can achieve 360 degrees without blind spots. Ren Ran was amazed and nervous, and his whole body was highly tense. When they entered the elevator, they could clearly feel that the elevator was going downwards. She counted the seconds silently in her mind. After about 12, the elevator stopped. The speed of the elevator on each floor will be determined by the height and purpose of the floor. For high-end high-rise office buildings, it may take 0.75-0.5 seconds to complete one floor. If it is a community, the elevator on the 32nd floor usually takes 2-1.5 seconds per floor, and the elevator on the 12th floor may take 4-2 seconds per floor. If it is a skyscraper above 400 meters, the elevator speed is generally above 7 ms/s. Going down, they were probably taken to the 4th underground floor. Ren Ran secretly opened his eyes, and within the visible range, he saw a long corridor, with doors appearing every 3 or 4 meters. The car was pushed to the end, and someone opened a door and threw everyone into the room. After this group of people left, Ren Ran did not act rashly. After a while, someone started to move beside me. My head hurts, a delicate voice sounded in my ears. Soon, people woke up one after another. Ren Ran chose an intermediate time to wake up, and acted in a daze like everyone else, turning his head around and observing the surrounding environment. The entire room is about 20 square meters, with sofas and coffee tables inside. There are also various fruits and drinks on the coffee table. Various artistic murals are hung on the walls, which are very artistic and degrading oil paintings. 4 cameras are installed in the 4 corners of the room, monitoring the entire room 360 degrees without blind spots. Ren Ran did not act rashly, and acted like the other victim women, looking frightened and frightened. This is where. Anyone? Let me go quickly. Ran Ran looked around with helpless fear and observed everyone in the room. Including her, there were 10 people in the room, all of them women. The boy from before should be imprisoned elsewhere. Among the 10 women, except for one who is more delicate, the rest are all good looking. Some are bright, some are pretty, and some are charming. In short, they all have their own merits. My name is Ji Miao, how did you get here? A charming-looking woman asked the others, but they remained silent. She spoke first. Let me tell you about my situation first. I am a student who has just graduated from my senior year. I couldn't stand the sexual harassment from my boss some time ago, so I resigned. It happened that a friend told me that there was an agency that needed to recruit models. The salary and benefits were very high. I went to the interview with the mentality of giving it a try, and after passing the selection process, I was selected. I signed the contract at HR, drank a cup of tea, and then passed out. When I woke up, I was here. This is what happened to me. What about you? Ji Miao looked at the others. I also participated in an interview with a company. After the interview was successful, I was taken to the lounge, drank a cup of tea and fell asleep. When I woke up, I was here. Hearing this, the girl next to her said, "Me too. I participated in an audition for an entertainment company, passed various talents, and was finally selected. I ended up here after drinking a cup of tea in the leadership office. I'm about the same. I'm participating in a model audition." As a girl spoke out, everyone was shocked to discover that everyone's experiences were similar. Ji Miao looked at Ren Ran, who had never spoken. Like everyone else, I also participated in an interview with a company, and the result was. At this point, Ren Ran was so scared that he was about to cry. Ji Miao looked at the last two people. They seemed to be good friends at first sight. "My name is Tang Qin, and this is my best friend Bao Yanyan. You and I are different. We were attacked on our way home and were kidnapped here." Bao Yanyan nudged her with her elbow and reminded, "You forgot, you also interviewed for the company during the day." "Oh, yes, yes. I also participated in an interview with the company during the day, and my best friend accompanied me. After passing the interview, I felt that the interview HR looked at people strangely, so I made an excuse and left." According to what they said, Bao Yanyan and Tang Qin were very sensitive and could have avoided them, but they didn't expect that this group of people had become so insane. Tang Qin said, "What do you think they did by bringing us here?" Everyone shook their heads, but the panic on their faces betrayed everyone's hearts. In fact, they each had the answer in their hearts, but no one dared to say it, as if once they said it, it would come true. "If I don't say it, maybe there are others." This self-deceiving thought permeated everyone's mind. Suddenly, the closed door opened. A tall, beautiful woman wearing a high-slit cheongsam walked into the room. Her eyes passed over several people. When she glanced at Ren Ran, she subconsciously lowered her head to reduce her presence as much as possible. The woman's eyes quickly passed over her body and nodded with satisfaction. "This batch of goods is good, there are several high-end goods in it." When her eyes saw the ordinary-looking Bao Yanyan, her brows frowned slightly. How did this get in? A security guard whispered a few times in the woman's ear, and the beautiful woman's slightly frowned brows relaxed. "Take her away and let Lao Wang deal with it." "Yes." Two people came up immediately and directly lifted Bao Yanyan. Tang Qin immediately stepped forward to push the two people. "Let go of Yanyan, please don't take her away." Bao Yanyan struggled violently. The beautiful woman didn't seem to want to waste time. She waved her hand, and 4 or 5 more people came in, easily separated the two people, and took Bao Yanyan away. "I don't want to leave, let me go." "Pa!" A security guard slapped the other person in the face without mercy. "If you scream again, sew your mouth shut." The person was dragged away, and the other girls in the room were trembling with fear. After they left, the beautiful woman smiled. "Don't be afraid, dears, those big guys never use force on beautiful girls. As long as you are obedient, you can enjoy the treatment of princesses here, with endless food and drink." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 339. Beautiful sister, can you let me go? I don't want to be a little princess, Ji Miao begged. The beautiful woman stepped forward and gently stroked Ji Miao's cheek with her fingers. It's not impossible not to be a little princess, then just be a blood slave. Although everyone didn't understand what a blood slave was, they all knew that it was definitely not a good thing. No, don't, Ji Miao trembled. The beautiful woman didn't give her the chance to say no at all. She waved her hand, and someone immediately stepped forward and dragged Ji Miao out. No, don't, I'll be a little princess, I'll be a little princess. Ji Miao screamed in panic. The beautiful woman waved her hand, and the security guard put the person down. She collapsed to the ground. Is there anyone who doesn't want to do it? No one dared to speak again. The beautiful woman was very satisfied with the effect. What do you want us to do? Tang Qin asked with trembling teeth. The beautiful woman smiled and said, don't be afraid, dears. We gathered you here in such a harmless way. We are not doing anything bad, but the work you are about to do is very important and needs to be kept secret. I hope you can all understand the company's good intentions. The work you are going to do is actually very simple, that is, serving tea. When the word serving tea came out, everyone's expression was different. Are you a waiter? The beautiful woman smiled and said, don't worry, you will know in a while. Let me talk about your salary first. Everyone is guaranteed 100,000 per month, and each time you serve tea, you can get 50,000 to 200,000. When everyone heard the high salary, they were all shocked. Some people had a move on their faces, and some people's expressions became more and more panicked. In fact, serving tea is a technical job. If you learn it well, you will benefit a lot. There will be a 100-day memorial event tomorrow night. The company is short of manpower. Today, you have to work hard to learn the skills of serving tea. If you learn well, you will be rewarded tomorrow. If you don't learn well, you can only be a blood slave. The beautiful woman clapped her hands, and someone immediately put a bracelet with a number on each girl's hand. Renran's number is 66. She glanced at the numbers of the people around her. Tang Qin is number 67 and Ji Miao is number 61. She turned the bracelet in her hand, and it was obvious that the bracelet was not an ordinary thing. Let's go. Everyone followed the beautiful woman out. There were people watching behind them and on their sides. If they made any inappropriate moves, they could control them in the first time. Taking the elevator to the second floor below, the magnificent decoration formed a sharp contrast with the black, white, and gray below. If this is a palace, then below is a slum. The beautiful woman led a group of people into a monitoring room and ordered the staff in front of the screen, switch to room 5. The display screen, which was originally divided into more than a dozen squares, became an extra large screen, and the video picture was extremely clear. In the antique room, a woman with long flowing hair was half kneeling, with a man standing in front and behind her at the same time. This scene made them all change their faces. Renran had already guessed what the so-called tea serving was, but when she saw it with her own eyes, she still felt a chill, and felt nauseous in her body and heart. Suddenly, the greasy middle-aged man standing in front grabbed the woman's hair, and a bright and moving face appeared in everyone's field of vision. Others were sighing at the woman's beauty, but Renran was stunned, with her pupils widened. She had seen this face before, in Song Lian's investigation report and in her father's information. Song Yunan. She is really still alive. She was imprisoned in this dark place and became a tea-serving girl. Renran looked at Song Yunan in the video. His face was calm and he didn't seem to be disgusted at all. However, Renran still felt her disgust and desire for death from her slightly frowned brows. The room was very quiet. The beautiful woman looked at everyone and smiled and said, "This is the most famous tea girl in our club. She is very popular among the guests. You are all outstanding talents with potential. As long as you study hard, you can easily replace her and become the best tea girl. Some of you are good seedlings. If you study hard, you will soon replace her and take her place. By then, earning tens of millions a year will not be a dream. You must be worried about whether you can spend the money you earn." The beautiful woman's words expressed the thoughts of several people. That's not a problem at all. As long as you work here for 2 years, you can leave at any time. Take the money you earn here and go out to be a rich woman, eat, drink, play, and do whatever you want. Of course, you must sign a confidentiality agreement before leaving, and you can't tell anyone what you see and hear here. If you feel that you don't make enough money, you can stay until you want to leave. Okay, watch and learn carefully from now on. Tomorrow is the test day, and only those who pass the test can stay and become tea girls. Ji Miao asked, "What will happen if you don't pass?" The beautiful woman looked at her with a half smile in her eyes. "Nothing will happen, you will be the same as them." As she said that, the beautiful woman winked at the people below. The screen immediately switched to other rooms, and I saw a woman lying in a room. Everyone was in the most primitive state of birth. Many of them had bulging abdomens, and various tubes were inserted into their bodies. Some tubes have red blood flowing in them, and some tubes have white lotion flowing in them. At the same time, there were many security personnel coming in and out of the room. After several people in the room saw this scene, everyone felt frightened and fear filled their hearts. Several girls were frightened and started sobbing. Suddenly, Tang Qi knelt down with a pop and kowtowed to the beautiful woman. "Sister, please let me go. I can give you money, lots and lots of money." She kept kowtowing, making a loud noise. The beautiful woman squatted down, with a smile on her face, and said the most chilling words in the gentlest voice, "If you get injured on this head, you will have no choice but to become a blood slave." As soon as these words came out, Tang Qi no longer dared to kowtow. The beautiful woman patted her face gently with her hand. "If you don't want to become a blood slave, you should work hard to become a tea girl, and then you have hope of getting out." She stood up, no longer paying attention to Tang Qi, and looked at the sobbing girls. "If your eyes are red and swollen and ruin your appearance, you are a defective product. Once you become a defective product, you cannot become a tea girl." As soon as these words came out, several people immediately stopped crying. Even though I was scared to death, I didn't dare to cry. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 340. Study well. The beautiful woman left such a sentence, and the person left. In the next few hours, the three of them were forced to watch various live videos, and the tricks in each video were different. Some are rough, some are bloody, some are crazy, and some are horrific. These images shock everyone's fragile hearts. No one here dared to cry. No matter how scared they were, they all bit their lips tightly, but did not dare to bite too hard for fear of becoming a defective product. They watched like this for several hours, and they were not allowed to leave until dawn. These short videos are not without some benefits. Ren saw several familiar bosses in the video, and they were involved in 2 industries. Once things here are revealed, it will definitely set off huge waves that will affect both worlds. Many people will be disbanded and many people will be punished by law. Ren dragged his tired body and asked cautiously, "I want to go to the bathroom." Hearing this, several other girls looked at the guard with the same eagerness. They had all forgotten this matter because of fear before, but being mentioned like this awakened their body functions. The guard glanced at several people and said, "Follow me." Several people followed immediately. When we arrived at the bathroom door, the caretaker said in a cold tone, "Hurry up." "Good. All 9 people entered the bathroom. Renran didn't fight to be the first, giving the opportunity to others first. While waiting, she quietly observed the bathroom. Fortunately, she was not perverted enough to put a surveillance camera here. She held her right ear with one hand and pretended to rub her temple, while one of her fingers kept pressing the signal transmitter. There was no response from the annunciator, which made Renran's heart sink. She began to move around the bathroom, pressing the beacon. Suddenly, at the innermost position, the annunciator made a subtle beeping sound. She was delighted. At the same time, Shen Jingzi had already led his people to guard the outside of Bai Xiangju. No signal yet. Tianji shook his head. Boss, there are only 2 possibilities when the signal disappears. The first is that the other party has discovered the GPS positioning system and destroyed it. The second is that there is a signal jammer inside, which blocks the signal. I'm not sure which one it is now. Acting rashly may be detrimental to the eldest lady. What do you say over there? They have already used the high-tech instruments they just released to investigate, and the results will be available soon, the assistant said. Shen Jingzi took a look at the sky. The investigation must be completed at night. Dark night is the best cover. Once the sky is bright, the advantage is lost and it is easy to alert the snake. You have to be fast. In 20 minutes, it will be dawn. I'll go over there and keep an eye on it. At this moment, Tianji said in surprise, there is a signal. Everyone was overjoyed and gathered around. Soon they noticed the signal flickering, then and there. What's going on? The assistant was confused. Morse code. Shen Jingzi and Tianji spoke at the same time. Tianji quickly took out a pen and paper from the side and started recording. When the flashing lights stopped, Tianji immediately gave the other party a response. Renran, who was squatting in the toilet, was very happy after receiving the signal. At this time, the man waiting outside could not wait for Renran to come out for a long time and began to urge him. Are you done? It'll be ready soon. Renran didn't dare to stay any longer for fear of arousing their suspicion. Ji Miao said, she has a stomachache and it will take a little longer. The caretaker muttered dissatisfiedly, lazy people poop a lot. When Renran came out, he happened to hear the sentence. She apologized quickly, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. The man snorted coldly and said no more. This woman looked like she could become a high-end tea girl, so it was naturally impossible for him to do anything to her now. With Bai Xiang standing outside, everyone watched the signal disappear again. Tianji gave up the action of continuing to contact. Everyone's eyes moved from the screen to the white paper. Several words were written on the snow-white paper. Each word made everyone present feel silent and even felt suffocated. South of the Song Dynasty, politics, business, big fish, 100-day festival, tomorrow, action. Call Fuyan over. Fuyan participated in this operation as the head of the special relevant department. As soon as he arrived, Shen Jingzi pushed the white paper in front of him and said calmly, this is the message that was just sent out. There are big things involved here. Can you make the decision? Fuyan did not speak, but put a piece of information on the table. This is the situation that was just scanned. We can clearly see a huge underground castle under the hill on the left side of Bai Xiangju Manor. No wonder the eagle didn't find anything. The thing was not hidden inside Bai Xiangju, but under an inconspicuous hill. The entrance is very hidden, and our instruments found 2 locations that are most likely to be entrances and exits. After Fuyan finished telling the information he had, he added another sentence. Actually, we have been investigating the underground castle hidden behind the city for a long time. We also have a lot of information in our hands, but we lack the most favorable evidence. This time, being still inside is an opportunity to destroy this place that should not exist. Chance. Fuyan looked at the words tomorrow, action on the white paper. Renran should have the same idea as our department. I will cooperate with you, but I have one request. I want her to be safe. I will. You have to believe Ren Ran. She is smarter and more powerful than you think. Yesterday, our people successfully sneaked into the interior. Maybe they will meet. Fu Yan, Shen Jingzi, and others were discussing outside. One plan after another was established and overturned. As for Ren Ran, a group of girls were taken back to the original room. The guard said to everyone, "You only have 3 hours of rest time. After 3 hours, a teacher will come to teach you." Everyone's nerves were tense. After a whole day of stimulation, who could sleep peacefully, except Ren Ran? She knew that there was still a tough battle to fight next, and she had to rest enough, otherwise even the gods could not save her. She found a place to lie down, thought about it and said to the others, "Everyone should rest quickly. There will definitely be high-intensity work later. You must rest enough to avoid making mistakes and being dragged to be a blood slave." After that, she didn't care what they thought. Someone saw her sleeping like this, and was a little angry, or maybe he wanted to find an outlet to vent, so he said sarcastically, "You are so generous, you can still sleep even in this situation." Ren Ran turned over and ignored it. The man saw her like this, and wanted to rush over to pull her up, but was stopped by Ji Miao. "I think she is right, everyone should take a rest." Tang Qin glanced at everyone, then at Ren Ran, and finally walked to Ren Ran's side and lay down.